So it took me a long time to find the HCM PRO Virtue. It's weird because I swear I looked at that box several times, and it's like all of my HCM Pros are already in their box, their respective boxes, and this one's my second biggest because I got that Destroy. But I don't know how I missed it for so long, but I finally found it. And I forgot how good this is. This is definitely my favorite HCM Pro that I have. The paint is great, although it's weird that everything here is yellow and then gold on the back skirt. They should be yellow. Got like a little ribbon detail stuff that's painted in. Little parts here on the G and field emitters, which actually work. I didn't think they'd actually open up, and they're painted too. That's pretty cool. Thought they'd just be like one piece and not do that. So I appreciate they did that little thing because it's not super important, but I like that they did it. And the backpack has a hinge here and a very tight hinge, and that's it. So don't try and like rotate it, it's not gonna work. But these parts here, the cans themselves are ball jointed, and they even give you the little slidey track for the cans to extend the barrels slightly. I mean, it's nothing huge, but you know that they're extended, right? So you know they tried. And posability is pretty good. I mean, for what it is, Virtue's always a fatty. Now, if these armatures here could actually pull back some or something else, that would be nice, but they don't. So that does kind of hinder the arm some. And they even have wrist hinges. I love that. Like the open hands are wrist hinges. Even the closed hands are wrist hinge. You got a pair of each of those. Nothing in the stomach. I think we can kind of figure out why. But knees nice. And even the feet are decent. This does move, which is good. And the hinges here, this little teeny one, it looks like it's so thin. It's so thin. Look at this. It looks like a sliver of like plastic that's come off. But this little thing here is the little cover over the Aegean condenser in the chest. It's so funny how tiny that is. Of course, that'll work with the Aegean Bazooka, which have 3 handles. You got one on each side, of course. And then this one here is permanently in angled pose. But these ones you can slide individually for some reason. Don't know why. And the barrel does the extending part like that. I always find that weird because I know it has to slide down for these to be more even with each other. And I like they include these little nubs at the end of the weird penguin beak cannon. Helps you get your nail in. It's still a little tricky to do, but it does help somewhat. Getting the barrels extended, which are also painted. Of course, it's yellow on navy blue. It doesn't really work that well, but they tried. And all the handles here aren't like covered. They're not like filled in, so you can quite easily have the Virtue hold it. And then if you try to use both hands, you can have that panel here. And this is something they should have done with, I don't think any model, even the Master Grade does this, a little tab underneath this chest panel. So it'll peg directly into the cannon, which is a great idea. Check that out. You don't even need the hand. That is great. I don't know why nothing else, I don't think any other kit does that. I have the first grade, the high grade, the master grade, the 1/100, no grade. Yeah, I don't think any of them do that. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's cool anyways, nonetheless. And then you would have beam sabers stored in here, but I still have them on the baggie. Although they don't actually do anything, they're just there for show. You just peg them in the knee and they're there. You can pull them out to make it accurate with the ignited ones. Always like the fluorescent pink. And then the V-fins here are like more hard plastic, where the one on here is soft rubber. Now you might notice there's 2, and that's because you can turn this into the Nadleeh. And that is something you wouldn't expect, considering, once again, it is 1/200 scale. 1/144 high grade. Quite the difference in terms of size, right? That one doesn't do it. Of course, it is a model kit. It wasn't as expensive as the HCM PRO, though, you know, if it was made today, it probably would be. So, we can just start not ripping parts off. I don't want to be too crazy with it. I don't want to be too violent. And this might take a while. Ah, my fingers. And we almost have the Nadleeh. There's just one thing left to do. That's to swap out the Virtue head and bring in the Nadleeh head. Yeah, it's not a perfect transformation, but I'm actually okay with that because this is a very small head, and the only real way they could do it is if they had it like the model, like the Master Grade, or the 1/100 no grade, where the armor goes over the Nadleeh head, which works with a model kit, but it's mostly the size, because like trying to get the armor over top of this would be really hard to do. And look that's how big the head is. His head would either be, the Virtue head would either be too big or the Nadleeh head would be too small. So I think we got the best, and I'm okay with that. And the hair it's got is actually pretty flexible, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about it snapping. Of course, the posability is still better because, well, there's nothing to get in the way. So it's got like free range of the waist and the legs. Of course, you can still like use the non-existent beam sabers in there. And just like with the normal Virtue, any other model or anything, you can take these off. You got flip out handles. And it would help if I use the right one, because I have the holding hand on just one. But this will allow you to use the GN cannons in the hands of Nadleeh. The arms seem to be tight enough to hold that for the most part. Not the best holding hand, but okay, I guess the wrists are a little loose. But you can fiddle around with it and get it to work. It'll be fine. Now you've got all this extra Virtue stuff. I mean, now you got to do what you do with the models and just put it in a container somewhere. But not here. No. You have a display stand, basically. A display model. God, I think it started to yellow. I'm pretty sure it was completely clear when I got it. I could be wrong. Once again, it's been in storage, so I don't know why it's getting yellow. But you can basically have two of the Gundams at the same time. Well, I just realized I haven't actually seen this since I first got the figure, because this is how it's boxed. And when I put it back in the box for storage, I actually had it with the Nadleeh inside. And I forgot you still have the biceps and thighs and even some of the stomach like visible, so they're still clear. And it's kind of the same in the back. But at least you can still use the GN Bazooka. You just gotta have it at the using the farthest handle, because obviously the arms can't move. Although you can still move the head and the feet are ball jointed and the hands are still the same. And the cannons you can use. Although if you do have the cannons on the back and the GN Bazooka in the hand, your Nadleeh is kind of bare because it can only use one beam saber really. Because you have to have one of the holding hands here and you have to share between the two. You only get a pair of each. So one beam saber is all Nadleeh is going to get for now. It would have been nice if it included the shield and the beam rifle for the Nadleeh, but it doesn't. Maybe they didn't know about it because I think these came out around the same time as 00 was actually coming out, and maybe they didn't know about it. Maybe they didn't have the budget. They did a lot here, so I guess I can forgive it. Also, I think I pushed the head together a little more with the Nadleeh because I was noticing it was kind of separate, but that V-fin is all jank. Because if you look over here with the plastic one, it looks kind of normal, but this one here, it is the rubbery material, so maybe it just got warped over the years, because I remember it being a lot better before. I could switch them out, but I don't want to cut this off the plate, so Nadleeh just gonna have a weird looking head. But I just can't get over what they've done with this 1/200 scale. We gotta put this in perspective. 1/144 and 1/200. That's crazy. Like, the Nadleeh is just a little bigger than my finger, my index finger. So the fact that they were able to do almost a perfect transformation minus the head, and you can still display both of them if you want, kind of. Yeah, it's missing some things, but I think for what they did, it's pretty great.